Welcome back. September is National Workforce Development Month, and joining us now to help us spread awareness are Marga and Megan. Thanks so much for coming in today.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Marga, I'm going to start with you. Kind of explain to us, what does workforce development actually mean, and tell us about some of the services that OLV Human Services offers to its students.
Sure. So at OLV Human Services, we operate 7 different school programs through Victory Education. And workforce development really to Victory Education means helping these students kind of identify the different barriers that they might have to employment, and then figuring out different accommodations or ways to mitigate those barriers. Really just exposing them to a lot of different industries and different jobs that are out there that they can hopefully be successful in after high school.
Why is workforce development so important these days?
So as Victory Education, we really take a whole child approach. So we're not just in a classroom focusing on academics. We're thinking about what happens once they leave our doors, once they graduate. And in order for them to be successful and really be the future in Western New York, we want to make sure that they are set up for success in a career.
Megan, do you want to tell us what is the Foundry all about and how you help those in the community, like OLV Human Services, through workforce development initiatives?
Absolutely. So the Foundry is a community makerspace and business incubator located on the east side of Buffalo. Primarily, we're working with folks who, maybe for the first time they've made something, and what we really love to see is that aha moment of oh my gosh, I made this thing. I love to do it. I want to know more. I want to, pursue something like this. And so, for the workforce component, we're really working with schools and individuals who may not have that traditional pathway that you hear, high school to college to whatever. There's so many other opportunities out there in fabrication, in digital fabrication, design. So we're working in our metal shop, tech lab, textile lab, wood shop to teach about basic skills and fabrication and helping people kind of pursue their own pathway.
Yeah, really cool stuff. Marga, tell us how OLV Human Services and the Foundry kind of connected and came together to work on this workforce development initiative.
Yeah, so I've been working with Megan since I've been at OLV, so close to 10 years at this point. But our relationship has really grown over those 10 years. So I think back then we started out with just some students in their wood shop learning different skills, but now our students have exposure to their metal lab, their tech lab. They made these beautiful night lights here that you can see here. So we've really spent a lot of time cultivating the relationship and identifying how it was going to best serve our students.
Yeah, I'd love to get into more of the projects like these, Megans, that you've been able to work on with the students through OLV.
Absolutely. So this is a great example of a project. Students can have their own input on design, but at the end of the day, they're learning basic skills on digital fabrication. All of this stuff was cut out on a laser that we have in our shops. And then, part of our program really is about gifting back, so recognizing your own strength and your abilities that can give back to the community. So this is part of a bigger project. The Service Collaborative of Western New York runs Beds for Buffalo in our facility. They're making 300 beds a year. That is given to kids who are in transitional housing situations. But isn't it nice that a kid not only gets a bed, but gets a really cool nightlight instead?
Yeah, and I love that the students made this. This one in particular is really sweet because it says, "A dream is only a dream until you make it a reality." So they're, kind of pouring their love as kids back into the other kids that they're being able to provide these for.
Absolutely, yeah. And all the projects that we make are really about giving back to the communities. We make bike racks. We actually employ, and we have employed some OLV students who have come out of that program through our Foundry Made program. So that's a little bit older youth who may have graduated high school, and we're making bike racks, garden trellises, garbage receptacles, if you see along the streets, all sorts of stuff that speak to the community and say, these kids are awesome, they're giving back to their community, but also please hire them, right? They have all these amazing skills.
If individuals or parents are looking for more information on maybe how to sign their student up for this, how can they do so?
So for OLV Human Services, they can go to our website, olvhs.org. All of my contact information would be on that site.
Same website is probably the best, thefoundrybuffalo.org. We have after-school programs. We have programs really starting from 5th grade and up. So
awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming in and sharing more about this. Viewers, if you'd like more details on the workforce development programs available through OLV, Human Services, and the Foundry, you can contact Marga or Megan at their emails or phone numbers right there on your screen. Thanks again for coming in.
Thanks for having us.